police emergency? Your vehicle's been stolen? OK, where from?
Every year, thefts from lorries and containers cost businesses £250 million.
The vehicle is currently headed into North Yorkshire's area. We've just been informed by West Yorkshire.
So what you've got here, you've got an absolutely ginormous distribution centre. So just look at all the lorries there, full of booty, millions of pounds worth of stock.
In North Yorkshire, traffic cop Rich Clark is on patrol in an HGV crime hotspot near the M1.
So a lot of the drivers will be parked in lay-bys and service stations on the periphery of this. We've had lots of assaulted lorry drivers and drivers pulled from cabs and left at the side of the road where they've taken the truck and the trailer and everything.
Also on shift is traffic cop Mark Patterson.
We tend to actively target our patrols in the industrial estates that are near to the motorway between North Yorkshire and West Yorkshire. It's a prime location for offenders to target.
Where are you now?
Tadcaster.
An alert comes in about a truck, thought to be transporting stolen goods.
Right, there's an unregistered HGV that's just hit 15 minutes ago.
Right, where's it going, do we know?
It's a HGV that's not trace PNC, and it's never been in North Yorkshire before.
The plates aren't coming back to any vehicle, and it's heading into our area now, so it's most likely that this vehicle's coming in to target some other curtain-side lorries, take the goods out of that lorry, fill that lorry up and disappear with it. So we're just sort of heading towards the area.
Let's think a little bit like a burglar, because you've got to think, right, what are the sort of sweet spots and the nice targets that they might be after next.
John, have you pulled over to wait for us?
A few miles away, traffic cop Mark is in an unmarked car, searching industrial estates.
Criminals using vehicles will try and escape those vehicles being linked to them, and they'll do things like put cloned plates onto the number plates that aren't the correct registration plate, because that way, if that vehicle is seen committing any offences, it can be hard for the police to then trace where that vehicle's from.
10-4. Whereabouts are you now?
On the left-hand side, I can see two HGVs parked up quite close together. What looks out of place to me is the fact that one of the HGVs is facing the opposite direction to the other, and generally you would find that they would all be facing the same direction.
Making a quick U-turn, Mark checks if the registrations match the wanted truck.
The number plate on the front of the lorry is the one we're looking for.
It's in the lay-by, it's tucked up for the night.
We found this truck.
They're just round the corner.
1881, looks like there's some people on just to the near side of that vehicle.
If I was a betting man, then what I would say I've stumbled across here is a organised criminal gang in the process of removing goods from one HGV into their HGV.
Mark parks up to wait for backup.
The last thing I want to do is walk around the corner and be faced with 4, 5 or more criminals in the middle of stealing something, and me being on my own before the rest of the team have made their way to be able to support me.
The working gangs are 4 minimum, and you'll probably have a getaway car which will be probably high-powered. You'll have 2 or 3 lads skulking about, and if they see any activity from the police that might blow the whistle, they'll be onto the phones to each other.
As Rich and Josh approach, a black Seat Leon speeds past.
Oh, that's just turned us.
Followed by the suspect truck.
It's unusual for a car to be entering an industrial estate in the middle of the night, so I think me driving into the industrial estate has now disturbed them, and they've then been on the phone to their getaway driver, if you like, who's in the black Seat Leon.
It's starting to bubble, this job now, so...
1881, that vehicle, the rear doors are open. Following Seat.
That'll be the car.
As we get to the entrance of the industrial estate, the car turns left and the lorry turns right. I've made the decision at this point that I'm going to turn right and follow the lorry.
The rear door's still there, wide open.
As Mark tails the truck, the rest of the team try and head off the Seat.
I'm travelling.
They're behind us.
Westbound.
Right, Josh, get out.
With the suspected getaway car heading towards them, Rich prepares a stinger to puncture its tyres. Coming up, Mark closes in on the suspect truck.
I've come up alongside and then pulled my vehicle across in front of the HGV.
Rich and Josh catch up with the black Seat.
Right, boys, you're all getting handcuffs put on you while we search you, right?
And officers on a manhunt
I've got a feeling we've got to cross road.
for suspected fuel thieves.
Put your hands out in front of you. At this moment in time, you're under arrest.
Right, that stopped, hasn't it?
Yeah. Vehicle stopped just short of us.
17 miles west of York, after disturbing a gang of suspected thieves targeting trucks on an industrial estate.
What's crack then, boys?
Traffic cop Rich Clark and Special Constable Josh Hill have stopped a suspected getaway car.
Where are you from?
From Leeds.
From Leeds. What's your name, mate?
On the water.
Phone snapped. How's your phone snapped?
Not mine.
Give up.
Passenger.
SIM cards have disappeared.
Oh, look at that. Another one. These little phones that we found, they're what we call burner phones, and they've been snapped up in the cars. So yeah, these they'll just pick up for 10 quid, but they've clearly just snapped these up to hide whatever's on it. They've had ample opportunity just before they've been stopped. They've known that there's traffic cars behind them, and there'll probably be some interesting stuff on there.
20, can we have another unit with us, please?
Yeah.
Right, boys, you're all getting handcuffs put on you while we search you, right? You're all getting searched under Section 1 of PACE, all right? You're only detained, you're not under arrest, all right? Just while we search you, just so we've got some control. And we're looking for stolen items or items that you're going to use to go nicking stuff, all right?
While Rich and Josh search the four men, nearby, traffic cop Mark Patterson pursues the truck suspected of transporting stolen goods.
1881, there's push junction standby, it's a near side indication. It's left towards the village.
Up ahead are two colleagues, and what they've done is they've put two stingers out across the road.
I'm approaching the junction now, we're standby.
So as soon as I can see up ahead that the stingers are out across the road, I've put my blue lights on. I've come up alongside and then pulled my vehicle across in front of the HGV.
Backup arrives to help Mark with the two suspects in the truck.
you're not under suspicion of theft at this point in time, all right? Without reaching for out, have you got any idea on the mate?
How do you go, mate?
No.
I'll take one man, we'll find out.
Good lad, you get warmed up. Well, put them in your cellar.
Both men are arrested on suspicion of stealing the HGV and using it to commit theft.
Right, go on you. It's going to hurt you, me. What's this in this pocket?
Rich and Josh search for evidence on the men stopped in the Seat.
So there's a number of things that we try and look for, try and place them to any offences that we suspect have been committed. Things like any sorts of gloves, ski masks.
I can feel something here.
Yeah, it's money.
Stand in the boot for me, just here.
There's your belly.
Yeah, I've got a balaclava in my lad's pocket and a pair of black gloves.
4 lads in there, all cool as you like, all playing there. Nah, just out for a drive card, get all the details, run them through. Everyone known for vehicle thefts.
With searches continuing, Mark heads back to the HGV that he suspects the men.
Despite the lorry driver's best efforts, he's parked in a well-lit place, quite close to the security office for the industrial estates, and he's been completely unaware until I've been and knocked on his door and woken him up. So what happens with curtain-side thefts is that the suspect will often make small holes in the sides of the curtains and have a look at the load inside to see, one, whether there's something in there, and two, whether it's going to be worth them stealing or not. So they make a larger hole that's big enough to get a person in, and then once they're in, they then systematically unload the pallets and then pass them out to someone standing here, and that's often why you get teams of 3, 4, 5 or more people doing these thefts. Only half a pallet of stock's missing from this lorry. Had they been left undetected, it's likely that a lot more stock would have gone from here.
So we've got 4 boys from Leeds in the Seat Leon, all 4 of them aggravated burglary, and then 2 locked up from the truck. In the truck, there's some property, and on the industrial estate, there's a truck being attacked, and it's the same property. So we can link the property from the truck to the truck. These 4, we can connect them to that truck, so I'm bringing them in for that as well.
All right, mate. So at this moment in time, you're under arrest for theft of a motor vehicle, going equipped to steal, and theft from a motor vehicle, all right?
Equipped to steal?
Yeah, equipped to steal, right. You've got a balaclava there. That's my grounds for you're equipped to commit burglary or equipped to steal, all right? So you don't have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention one question, something which you let a line in court. Anything you do say may be given evidence. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
All right, mate. I'm going to be taking you to Harrogate custody, and we'll get you booked in there.
Right, you're under arrest on suspicion of theft. Yeah. Theft from a curtain sider. Right. Well, you know what's called, don't you? It's cops and robbers, isn't it? And suspicion of theft of an HGV.
Theft of an HGV?
Yeah.
You're over.
Well, you know what's called, don't you, mate?
Yeah. I don't know.
What's your head?
Comes out, I'm happy it's come from you, all right. What's your head? It seems like a well-planned, well-thought-out operation. We've got 2 vehicles off the road, 6 people in custody, some stolen items recovered. So all in all, it's a very good job.
There's nothing better than catching a gang red-handed doing a job. Life's full of choices. Burglars, they've obviously made some wrong choices in their life, and they think it's okay to go take property. Not having it. Not on my watch.
The gangs targeting trucks are not just interested in the goods on the back of lorries.
Fuel theft is on increase. So at the minute in North Yorkshire, we tend to see criminals travelling quite long distances. They'll use any type of vehicle that they can get hold of, load it up with drums and siphon equipment and off they go. And they'll be looking for anywhere where there's HGVs parked. 20 plate.
Not really the criminal's car of choice, that is it?
15 miles east of Leeds, traffic cops Gav Pearson and Martin Hayes are looking for a number of cars stolen overnight.
I'm not sure if it turned that corner or nipped off. A little bit quick, isn't it? Just seeing this car coming towards us. I don't know if he's got a bit of a head of us or that's just maybe just being a bit nippy through old side roads. God! We're legging it from this car. C-Max.
The C-Max could be one of the stolen cars.
They've been coming to do this. Aside from that, it's full of diesel. You know, cutting through fields. Can't see him at the minute. I've got a feeling they've got to cross road.
Gav radios through to West Yorkshire's control for help.
1224 from XN, we're just on your border. We've had 2 mech off from a vehicle up near A1. We're just in your area, but they've gone to ground. It's hard to say where they've gone. It's just gone into absolute scrubland.
At the abandoned car.
And I just couldn't see which way they went, so I thought if I cut round, then I might be able to get them.
Martin checks if it's on false plates.
Yep, that's what I'm looking at. It's the stolen one.
Is it one from last night?
Yeah.
Boom.
Which is what I told her it would be.
Yeah. We had a feeling it'd be out and about. It's just a matter of we've dropped on it. That a bit of luck, to be honest. Just on border between our area and West Yorkshire's area, so it's a good result. Bloody hell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 23 barrels and siphoning kit. So they've been coming out to just nick diesel tonight. We had an inkling earlier on that this might be used for crime, and we kept his eye out for it, and then lo and behold, we dropped on it.
With the massive rise in fuel prices at the moment, it's always been a problem, really big problem. More and more fuel thefts, and there's a sort of a growing black market for cheap diesel.
Local officers arrived to help search for the runaway suspects.
It's 2 young lads. They've gone through these woods, straight that way, so they've either gone straight across the road that way or cut down the field. All right.
As the hunt continues, a police helicopter joins the search.
1589 in pass. Yeah, pass 32, go ahead. The runners came out of the white vehicle that's in front of our unmarked north into the field directly in front of it and into the trees that are between where the vehicle's abandoned and the A1.
They went off to our offside towards the A1 into the trees.
To impasse. Can you give us some directions? Because I'm with the dog crew. We'll try and get him.
Some trees on the right, and I think they're hiding in there. To the dog handler, walk behind you, turn around. There's a footpath just behind you. There's something warm in those trees.
Come out now when the toss will go in. Come out now.
Yeah, he's here.
I'll send him in. Walk towards me. Get big. Now, keep moving. Hands, Sergeant. Keep going.
Yeah, got some.
Get as close as we get him to.
Right, come here, pal. Put your hands out in front of you. Alright, mate. This moment in time you're under arrest. You don't have to say anything, but it may damage your defence if you don't mention one question, something which you later on or anything you do say may be given evidence.
Yeah, that's 32. Can I confirm that it was just one person that was seen to come out of the
Negative, there were 2, but the vehicle is set up for 3 at the minute because it's rested, it's full up with drums. So it's set up for potentially 3. We saw 2 on arrival.
Yeah, past 32, thank you. We'll have a look at the woods on the other side of the road then, because that's where he came from. He ran across.
That's 1 down. Looks like MPass has done brilliant.
Alan. That's well done. I knew it was something.
You're right. Much appreciated. Thank you. MPass. Same to yourself. Thank you.
So theft of motor vehicle and going equipped to steal. Alright, so remind you you're under caution.
It's absolute top result this. We haven't had a pursuit and we stopped any further offences being committed tonight. The vehicle's getting recovered, it'll get forensically examined and we'll see what we can get out of it. When it looks at car, it's in pretty good nick, so they haven't even had it 24 hours, they haven't been able to ding it all up and it'll go back to somebody who's going to be missing it. And it could be their little pride and joy, so yeah, top result.
Coming up, officers are forced into a high-speed pursuit through the streets of York.
The worst thing that could happen is that this person's reckless actions ends up wiping somebody out.
And a £1 million HGV hijack.
Just straight down into that. Could be anywhere.
We've got a deal with us giving the guy with the torch. We're going to get 2 people off the side.
Last year, HGV-related thefts cost businesses across the UK millions of pounds.
We encounter quite a lot of HGV-involved theft, whether that be stealing from the back of curtain side lorries or stealing the fuel from the tanks. It's a developing problem.
Just outside York, PC Mike Rowan is responding to the latest report.
Currently on the way up towards the village between York and Harrogate, there's currently flashlights which can be seen on an industrial estate. We suspect that there's people on there who are trying to steal fuel. With the price of petrol at the moment, it wouldn't be that surprising, as we are seeing a spate of fuel thefts at the minute, and it is a site which gets targeted quite a bit. We think they may still be on site. There's other officers there at the minute, so they've put a containment on, going to look at putting a dog in. If they are stealing fuel, then I would expect that they'll be in a vehicle, which is the reason why we're heading to the area.
As Mike makes his way, there's news about a suspicious car in the area.
Scramble message. 1727, we're just coming just for about a minute or 2 away from you. Excellent, get a fingerprint, and we'll put in a stop now. Let's see if something all there. 209 now, inside location.
So, firearms have located a red Corsa just near to the scene of where this attempt theft has occurred. So we're just going to go and look for things which might be used to steal. So for fuel theft, we're looking for things like jerry cans, pipes in the back. Also, just seeing whether the car smells of fuel.
It's high risk, high reward for the criminals involved in fuel theft. And it can be just as dangerous for us when we're tackling this kind of crime.
There you go.
They've got no issues in threatening officers with weapons if they are disturbed, just to get away.
Hey, mate.
This kid is the kid who's been on site.
All right.
He used to work for him until a week ago.
Yeah.
And he's come back tonight with a hammer. There's possibly some sort of dispute over wages.
Has anything been taken from site?
No. No, just a civil trespass.
Yeah.
You have been on that site committing crime. Fact. I won't be persuaded otherwise.
Crime while I was on site, yes. I haven't robbed anything.
Right, well that's the situation you're at. You're under arrest for burglary. You go to your police station and we'll investigate it. You don't have to say anything, but it may hardly be something later on in court. You can do something, maybe give me evidence. You're going to your police station. We're going to see the items in your car for forensic examination, those being the gloves and the hat and everything like that. And we're going to find out exactly what's going on. That's how there's going to be an investigation now.
We think he might have been on site doing something else other than stealing, possibly causing a bit of damage. We don't know yet, that's unconfirmed. But for the time being, he's going to be joining us in custody, spending the night with us, just until we can carry out some further inquiries in the morning.
With the suspect on his way to custody, Mike and the team get back on patrol and soon spot another suspicious vehicle.
We tend to find that more people fail to stop for us on the night time. Nighttime seems to attract more criminals out onto the road.
Just confirm it was the VW Golf.
Yes, affirmative.
This Golf is driving extremely dangerously. They're reaching speeds of 80, 90, getting on to 100 miles an hour. And they're travelling through 30 mile per hour speed areas. This is very high risk, this is really dangerous. As well as the speed, they're also doing many other things.
We're all over the road.
They're turning the lights off, they're driving in the middle of a road, they're driving through red lights. The worst thing that could happen in this kind of situation is that this person's reckless actions ends up wiping somebody out.
Where's my nearest units, please?
Monitor, speed is 90 in the 30 zone, heading up international speed limit. Whiskey medium. The vehicle is slowing in the bend, speed that's 35.
We have no idea who they are. You don't know whether they're armed in some way. So it can be quite an unnerving place to be, out in the darkness, in the middle of nowhere.
Near the traveller site.
To left.
There will be a decam very shortly.
Left.
We made off down the lane just by the main entrance to the side.
It's a loss. We haven't been able to follow.
Have some other units, please.
.465, I'm at the entrance of the traveller site now.
Arriving seconds behind the firearms team, Mike and a dog unit join the hunt for the runaway driver.
Yeah, that's the car there. We've got a containment on at the moment. So we've got officers dotted all the way round here, using thermal imaging as well. It's quite wide open land, So if there is any visual, if anybody tries to break cover, then hopefully we'll have them. We're currently at the side of the A64. We know that they've been through here because the dog's tracked them this far, and we've also got footprints in the soil. It's really boggy on the ground. It's quite difficult terrain to move across. We were on the opposite side of these pylons, that stretch of pylons, and then we've moved along there to the left-hand side of the pylons, and then that over there, I think, is the industrial estate.
Yeah, we're on the banking of the A64. The wildlife seems to have ruined it for us.
With miles of open space, it looks as if the runaways have escaped.
As it stands at the moment, so far we've been unsuccessful. Despite our best efforts, unfortunately the guys got away this time. So pretty much what's going to happen now, if we're going to get the car recovered, this probably won't be the first time they've done something like this. They'll no doubt do it again. So we'll be right here waiting for them. We'll come across them again, certainly.
Coming up, a £1 million HGV heist.
We're going to have to come out and cross this road at some point.
Leads to a manhunt.
They're going to be desperate, they're going to be scared.
Sierra 1046. I am now behind the vehicle, suspected to be stolen from yesterday.
With HGVs a top target for organised gangs, traffic cops like Chris Story respond to truck-related thefts every day.
They're often well prepared, they've done the research, they know what's going to be where, they know what stock they want to steal.
Let's get it passed up and let's get it followed at this stage.
Crime is very lucrative for the criminals that are choosing to do it. There's a lot of money in it, and that's what we're up against.
Traffic officers are tracing down an HGV that was reported stolen nearby yesterday.
It's gone right, stand by. It's going over the median, parked up. Got one out and running. One out and running to lay-by. White male. There's climbing a fence to the wooded area next to the lay-by. Get the dog towards, please. Over there!
They know that if they get caught, then obviously they're in a lot of bother, aren't they? So they are willing to take quite a lot of risk in terms of getting away.
We may have a heat source of interest. We can't identify it as a person at this point, but it is a static heat source. Stand by and I'll give you directions. Probably about to your 1 o'clock, about 7 metres, 8 metres.
5 up.
Get in.
1 decay.
The people that choose to commit these crimes generally operate on a night because that's when all the HGVs are parked up. The driver's often in the cab, obviously asleep, and they can operate kind of under the cover of darkness and often not be seen, and certainly make it difficult for us to catch them. So that's a lot of the time when these crimes are committed and when we are obviously targeting our patrols.
Yeah, we've just had a reliable sighting of the vehicle on the A1 heading northbound.
Chris is patrolling a service station near York on the A1.
Go ahead.
The initial call was a white trailer with all the goods in it.
A reporter's come in from 2 junctions away.
It's just gone through A1M northbound.
Can you just pass me as much information you've got about the vehicle, please? Move out of my way.
showing on ANPR as a white dash HGV. Now it appears to be a 7.5 tonne vehicle. It's believed to have picked up a trailer from Sherburn in Elvick that would have been an HGV size.
Do we know what the trailer's displaying, or has it got anything on it?
Unfortunately not. Plain white trailer.
Received, you got myself and 174 joining at 46.
Multiple units from across the county raced to search for the truck.
It's a report of a stolen trailer with potentially £1 million worth of sports stock in the back. There must be a lot of stock.
Zulu Papa 25, we have potential contact. It's 1224 towards Weatherby. Decam.
There's some officers that have got behind it, and the occupants of the vehicle have decamped, so they're running from the vehicle. So there's officers on foot now chasing the occupants of the vehicle.
And Sean decamped through the passenger. One on some wearing high vis.
He's led off across the field.
The driver of the HGV, they make the decision to pull off the motorway and bring the vehicle to quite an abrupt stop and get out and do legs across the field.
Traffic cops Joe Schramm and Toby Ganella arrive at the abandoned HGV.
Just keeping an eye out, see if he's about, jump out, see if we've got a torch in the boot. Torch.
There's what threw me off, because I seen him bail out of the passenger side, so I thought...
Just straight down into that. Could be anywhere. We can't get the helicopter over because there's somewhere, so they can't get to us.
It's pitch black. Trying to get them in that kind of environment is difficult. Without resources like the helicopter and drones and things like that, we're a little bit on the back foot.
Toby, we'll jump back in car, mate.
We're right next to the motorway now, so they're going to have to come out and cross this road at some point if they carry on coming this direction. Finding them is really, really difficult without a helicopter. But they're going to be desperate, they're going to be scared because they've been stopped. I've got loads of cops in the area. Just going to give this car a tug to make sure it's not involved in this whatsoever. Whenever things like this happen, we're just anything that's coming in and out of the area, we're running through as much as we can to try and stop anybody coming picking these people up, basically, and taking them out of the area. Hello mate, thanks for stopping. There's been a bit of an incident in the area and we're just stopping to make sure you've not picked anybody up or anything like that. Are you heading to work or something?
Heading from work.
You're heading from work? Yeah, yeah. What have you been doing?
Up at Junction 47, the roadworks there.
You've been doing roadworks? Yeah. Right, all right, OK, yeah, no problem, that's absolutely fine. Thanks for your time. No Take care, mate.
With the trail going cold, Joe oversees the recovery of the lorry.
The main thing is it's been stopped, no one's been injured, no one's been hurt. We've got all the gear back. The initial reports was up to £1 million worth of gear in the back of the trailer unit. I don't know how true that value is, but the trailer itself will be worth a hell of a lot of money without the produce in the back. The tractor unit is going to get recovered, going to recover it for forensics. So although at this time we've not caught the suspects and they've disappeared into the night, we've got forensics on anything that they've left inside that. So if they've smoked a cigarette in there and there's any cigarette butts, they've had a drink, anything like that, then we can look at getting the DNA off the items. And if they're on any of our systems, we'll be able to find them, get them linked to the job and get them locked up at a later date.
Theft offences doesn't matter whether those victims are massive companies or whether it's an individual. Ultimately, there's always an impact, and that impact is felt by normal, innocent members of the public.
We're all doing this job to catch baddies, and to help people.
What's down there?
You might get one put away, but there's somebody else straight into their shoes.
I mean, the amount of flammable material taken, leaking out of the bed, would just be a recipe for disaster, wouldn't it?
It can be quite difficult to catch them in the act. We tackle it by patrolling these roads regularly. We spend a lot of time up and down these roads. We know them like the back of our hand.
In this episode,
aside from that, it's full of diesel.
Only one of the men seen running from a stolen car who was suspected of stealing fuel has been identified.
Come here, pal. Put your hand right in front of you. All right, mate.
He's currently released under investigation whilst the police further their inquiries. The runaway suspect who stole and abandoned a trailer with £500,000 worth of goods has not yet been identified. Police are awaiting the results on forensics tests. A few days after a high-speed chase through York, Mike Rowan received a call about the VW Golf.
The reported owner of this car has got in touch with us to say that the car's been stolen. It doesn't necessarily wash with me. I suspect that it may have been them in the car or maybe one of their associates.
The failed-to-stop driver has yet to be identified. And in the case of the interrupted goods theft, a lorry search provides vital evidence.
There you go. Commercial blend. The other truck left at the scene, it's got the exact same load, but obviously with some missing. So that's crucial evidence, and it links them two together nicely. So number plates, 2 sets.
The 2 men arrested in the HGV.
What's crack then, boys?
And the 4 in the black car.
All got interviewed, they all know the game, all know commented.
Have all been released under investigation under suspicion of theft. The truck driver also remains under suspicion of drug driving.
And the traffic cops are back next Monday at 8, keeping our highways clear of broken down and supersized vehicles. Join the big road rescue teams for emergency call-outs weekdays at 6, new to Channel 5. Next